Hey guys, what's up? This is Meathead Mikkel from meatheadgaming.com, and today I'm going to be showing you guys a video of a Torment 1 Frost Wizard speed XP farm build that I've been doing. So, I'm going to go through my items, I'm going to go through the skill selection, and kind of show you guys how you can put this together for yourself. So, first things first, so total damage is 470k. DPS toughness is down at 625k. Now I'm going to show you guys how to actually get numbers like this, because this is not super overpowered gear. It's just kind of a combination of some legacy gear, which you can still get on the auction house, and newer crafted gear, and those synergize and work very well together. So items that I have from former live, no longer active, but I still have a crit mempo. This is probably the biggest contributor to the DPS number, and I wouldn't really suggest you guys buy a crit mempo right now. It's not really worth the money considering ROS is coming out soon, but you can get a mempo pretty cheap, and yeah, your DPS will be lower, but that's okay. This build will still farm pretty quickly, just you won't be getting as much XP per hour. So crit mempo, now this is a neck that I crafted beforehand, just high crit chance, crit damage, and some int. Nothing too crazy. Again, if you really want to buy something like this, you can. You don't absolutely have to. I am still using a Hellfire ring because of the XP, and actually you guys can probably craft a newer version in 2.0 and get higher stat rolls. I haven't actually done this myself yet. I'm using old Zunimasas. The 2-piece set bonus is pretty decent, and I'm using the boots. You can craft boots, but these stats are actually on the higher end. The only thing you'll get from crafted boots that you won't get here is about another 100 vitality. But you're going to give up the poison damage, so overall your DPS is going to drop. Inas, you probably need to stay with what you got. Witching Hour, again, you can get this pretty cheap. I happen to have high int and high vitality on mine. You don't really need that. Low rolls will work just fine because Torment 1 monsters don't really do that much damage. So you don't really have to have a whole lot of survivability. Now, the main contributors are I have an old Triumvirate, and you can still get something in this range. The stats don't have to be as high, the int and vitality don't have to be as high, but just get a high damage roll. And then I have this axe. Again, this isn't too hard to acquire if you just take off the life steal. You don't really need life steal on it because you're going to get some life regen, life on hit, and again, monsters don't hit that high. So it's not totally crucial. Now, let's talk about the gear that you can craft. So the Archon recipes, which is shoulders, gloves, chest, and bracers, they receive an update where you get an extra 100 main stat, and it's very, very easy to roll pretty much perfect or very close to perfect rares, where no rares that you find in the game right now will be able to replace these, and the only items that will replace them are legendaries and set items that you may find. So first things first, I did shoulders. 300 int comes by default, 200 vitality is pretty easy to get, and then you're either going to get, you want to get either all resist, some combination of all resist armor and your skill of choice. So this can also roll blizzard damage up to 15%. I wasn't lucky enough to get that, so I just used this one that has armor on it instead. For chest, this is incredibly inexpensive in terms of materials to craft. This is very close to what you're going to get. So if you look at the stat rolls, it doesn't get a whole lot better. And you basically want int, vitality, all resist, and 3 sockets. The range damage reduction and the pickup radius, those secondary stats don't really matter that much. Bracers, you're going to want to craft these as well. And here you're going to get int, vitality, crit chance. Those are the 3 you want to go for, and then you really don't want to go for all resist or armor on here. You want to go for cold skill damage. because that's going to directly impact your damage. The other two won't, and again, you don't need that much toughness. Now for gloves, I kept the ones I had from Former Live because of the crit chance and crit damage. So newer ones, I'll show you guys the ones that I crafted that I actually use in a higher tournament difficulty. Let me find them real quick. So these are the ones that I crafted that I use in a higher tournament difficulty. No crit damage roll, but it has a high crit chance, high vitality. So the toughness is pretty insane. These are pretty hard to craft. I think I crafted about 200 gloves, and I still was not able to find. I even got a trifecta, but crit damage is nerfed to 25% max, and attack speed is nerfed to, I believe, like 6%, 5 or 6%. So, if you have gloves that are trifecta and they're older, or the legacy items, use those. And as you can see, I'm giving up a lot of toughness over 300 vitality. My toughness is 625. If I put these on right now, I'm going to go to 744. So, but that's okay. We don't need it. We need the actual damage. So the gloves, you can craft them. It's very easy to get 300 and 300 vitality, and you're going to want a decent crit chance roll. That's fairly easy to get, but it's, getting all of this plus crit damage instead of the life on hit that I have, that's going to be tough. So I'm just using older gloves. Again, it's extremely easy to get 200 or 300k DPS with a combination of, a Mempo. It doesn't have to be a crit Mempo. Witching Hour and Enos. You can craft pants that'll give you more toughness, but the attack speed and the crit chance and the move speed, which you'll have to make up for in Paragon points, you can't really match this with crafted items, and you can't really match the boots either with crafted items because of the poison damage. So get legacy items for these two. Now, as far as crafting goes, the material costs aren't that high. You're going to want. Why is this not working? I'm lagging. That's why. So, common debris is what's really going to kill it for you. A lot of people have saved up exquisite essences. Demonic essences are super easy to get if you didn't stock up on the Tomes of Secrets, which were converted to demonic essences. I did, but again, it's not necessary. It's not going to be your limiting factor. Common debris, which comes from salvaged white items, is going to be your factor, and you're going to want to farm lower difficulties where the magic find rate is lower, and you're going to get more white items there, and then you'll be able to craft these items. Again, you can get gear like this and the gloves that I showed you with, I'd say, about something similar to this in maybe 50 crafts per slot, unless you get lucky, and I'd say about 100 crafts on the gloves. But there's a very good chance that you're not going to be able to place crafted gloves or legacy gloves because of the nerf to crit damage and attack speed. Alright, so let's go into the build. I'll explain this kind of step by step. So here's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be basically running and casting Blizzard, run away, cast Blizzard, run away, cast Blizzard, run away. Okay, you're just going to keep running and casting Blizzard, and on higher HP mobs, you're going to be, in elites, you're going to be popping a cooldown meteor and Sleet Storm, and this is huge burst damage. So let's go over the skills. First off, you don't need AP on crit. It would help to have resource cost reduction. And so I'll just go through these, and I got some life on hit on here. I got some life percentage, all resist. This is what you want to pump first. It gives you a lot of toughness, the most toughness actually. And then I just did crit chance and crit damage because attack speed doesn't really matter. It matters for Sleet Storm, but you're not actually going to be using Sleet Storm that much in T1. That's kind of like your skill in combination with Meteor to take down the elites. Which one is crit chance and crit damage for the Blizzard to take out the white mobs in a single cast. Core, I did 1% movement speed to get up to 25% and the rest in int. Now, skill-wise, the left mouse button is going to be Sleet Storm. And keep in mind that this is at 16 AP cost. This is 13 AP cost. You're going to be using Snowbound. to be able to actually spam it. And then your meteor is going to be a high AP cost spender, but you're only going to be popping it every 15 seconds. And the reason for that is this is your elite killing skill. On Tournament 1, with the DPS that I have, this will one-shot elites. This is, what, like 21, almost 2200 weapon damage over about 3.5 seconds or so if you count the strike plus the ticks. So if you combine this with a blizzard cast, so what you're going to do is you're going to cast blizzard, you're going to cast meteor, then you're going to run in, and you're going to sleep storm. And that's how you're going to take out elites almost instantaneously. You don't have to worry about ground effects, anything like that. Now, back to the other skills. So this should all make sense. Sparkflint Familiar, basically just 1 extra damage. Pinpoint Barrier, not for the armor so much, but for the crit chance. You know, again, you're not going to be running out of AP at all, so you don't need Storm Armor or Power of the Storm because you're not going to run out of AP. Magic Weapon, Force Weapon. Now, for passives, I did use Astral Presence to get a little bit regen. I'll show you guys why. Cold-Blooded because you're going to get the extra 10% boost, and Glass Cannon. Now, the one thing that you may want to do if for some reason your damage is lower and you do take a few hits, you can swap out one of these two, and I would probably recommend a Glass Cannon, swapping out Glass Cannon for Blur to get a 17% damage reduction to all types of damage. It is going to lower your total damage output, but it'll help you survive, so it might make it a little bit slower. Again, and I definitely do use this in T2 onward. It's just in the Tournament 1 speed XP farming, it's not necessary, so I get all damage passives. Now, with my Templar, I get 1.4 AP per second, and with the passive, that gives me 2 AP per second, so I end up with 13.4. So if I look at this is 16. I can spam this for quite a while, and nothing is going to take this long to kill. This is actually enough at my damage output to kill Asmodan on T1 before I run out of AP, so it's not necessary. As far as your follower, I use Templar again because of the AP regen, and you can also, I want to find some legendary items, and the only magic find item I have is my Witching Hour, so, but my magic find is at 43% because I loaded him up with some legacy magic find items. I got a shield. This is just for the extra AP bonus, or no, excuse me, not AP, XP bonus. Then I have magic find here. I have a Sunkeeper with magic find. Just get a crappy one with a socket and give him some life on hit, and that's not even really necessary on T1. And then I have a crafted amulet that has magic find, so he's giving me, I believe, 25% magic find is what he's giving me. Helps, it's not required, but it helps. So let's jump right into this, and I'm going to demonstrate kind of how this works, and let's start a different game. So let's see. I'm going to go to Hack 3, and we're going to do Heart of Sin, Kill Asmodan quest. And this is actually a pretty quick run. That's the other thing I want to talk about is the route. I've been doing some testing, and I'm sure there's something that's more efficient, but because there are no longer any Nephilim Valor stacks, you can make your runs as long or short as you want. And what I found was the most efficient up to this point for my testing run is going to be Keep Depths 2 and Rakka's Crossing backwards, and that's it. You don't clear fields, you don't clear any of the craters or anything like that. That's all you do, just those two areas, and they will give you some very, very nice XP per hour gains. So first I want to show you guys in Keep Depths 1 just basically how this works and what you're going to want to be doing and how quickly this kills elites, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like when you time the run. So, you just cast one, a single cast will take out mobs completely. I mean, sometimes they leave over, it just depends on, if you crit enough times or not. Now my health is going down a little bit because, again, I'm not using very much. Actually, you know what? Sorry guys, I just messed that up. That's why it's taking longer, because I'm in Torment 4. So let's just lower this back down to Torment 1. Alright. This is going to be a little bit more accurate now. You're not going to be taking a whole lot of damage. Let's see if I can get popped by a couple of them. So as you can see, I mean, I'm not taking very much damage at all. You know, just standing here, it's pretty easy. Single cast will kill all mobs about halfway through the blizzard duration. So 3 seconds, 3 ticks of the blizzard will kill them. You know, it's not, they don't require a lot of damage at all. So what you can do with regular mobs is just cast. Sometimes you have to cast in Sleet Storm if they block corridors, but generally you don't. And with Sleet Storm, I'll show you what kind of damage that does. That's an instant death, basically. So I'm just gonna tap this, and I just basically just tap my mouse for, you know, I tapped and released. So Sleet Storm does a ton of damage. But yeah, you just cast and forget. Cast and run. Cast and run. And this is what you're going to be doing for regular packs. You don't have to. You can just cast and keep running. Forget about them. You don't. You know, you're not. It's almost like you're not stopping. You just keep running, and that translates into a lot of XP per hour. That's what you're doing now. For elites, you're gonna cast Meteor and spam Sleet Storm, and they're gone. That's it, just like that. So it's pretty straightforward. Fairly easy. Now, so let's time this, and I'll show you guys what kind of XP you're going to get. So let's go back to town, and I'm going to bring up a little stopwatch for myself, and when I hit go, I will show you guys, you know, you can kind of see in the YouTube video the time stamp of when this starts, and you'll see the XP that I'm getting. So let me go ahead and let's see. We're starting at 112. We'll say 112 mil. That's what we're starting at. It's going to be our starting XP. And we're going to basically just do this run pretty quickly, and I'm going to start here at, we're going to start now. Alright, so it's starting now. So this is going to be our run, and you know, again, I'm just going to do a single run. I don't want to bore you guys with 20 different runs, and it is of course going to, you know, there's going to be a difference in run times just based on kind of what you find, how, you know, how many mobs there are, if you have to double back, you know, if for some reason you do die, you know, what kind of monster densities you require, or excuse me, what kind of monster densities you encounter. Also, the time it takes you to get in the game, run to the keeps, you know, the time it takes you to exit the game if you lag, things like that. So there's a lot of variables. And it would take several runs, maybe several hours to get an exact number. Excuse me, but I'm not here to give you guys an exact number. I'm just here to give you an estimate. So here we go. Meteor, and that's it. See, one shot. One shot elites. And on Torment 1, and this is way overkill. This is 470k damage, so you know, you're going to be able to, even at 300k, you should still be able to one-shot them. They might sit through, you know, a couple seconds of the dot that the meteor drops, but they're going to go down very quickly if you combo those 3 together. I tried Time Warp, I tried, let's see, here's another one right here. There's another one down. I tried several skills that I could put in a slot that would, you know, increase, that would be kind of like a burst of damage, and this cooldown meteor is the best one that I found. And I won't always hit the elites, and sometimes they'll walk out of it, so they'll, And then we'll take you 3 to 4 seconds with Sleet Storm at this damage output to take him down. But, you know, sometimes you just have to do that. And actually what I've been doing, while I was talking to you guys, is not being terribly efficient. Because I've been using Sleet Storm instead of just casting Blizzard and forgetting about it. But you kind of get the idea. So I'm just going to keep going through this run. And this is, I think this is like a 5 or 6 minute run total. Might be a little bit longer. But really just cast something and keep on moving. So this is a perfect example. It's an open area, you just cast and forget. Don't even worry about it. If you miss something, cast and forget. And, you know, I will be doing some further testing to see how well this is going to work. With like a TR Monk or a Barb, I have tested the Barb a little bit. And I think the Wizard is still going to be superior because you don't actually have to be near your enemies, you can cast at a distance. So, there we go, Meteor, and all elites are down. So very quick. And this is Torment 1. Now, to be fair, you know, once you get into Torment 2, 3, 4, the numbers go up exponentially, so it's not like a slight boost. You know, it does become significantly harder in both monster hit points and monster damage output to take them down, so it's not like, you know, I can do this on T3 at the same pace. I can't. But yeah, as you guys will see, you can get some very good XP per hour, especially if you're in the, you know, sub 200 Paragon level category. You can level pretty fast off of this. It's depending on your gear and how fast you play, how many breaks you take, if you pick up items, you know, a few variables as well. This is going to be quicker than former crypt runs in terms of XP per hour. Former planned crypt runs in the functional group, like in, you know, groups of players who know what they're doing and have prepped the crypt and planned everything out, will still grant you less XP than this. And keep in mind, guys, that, you know, as I'm recording this video and I'm doing this run, I'm still not, you know, trying to optimize and be like super efficient. You know, I'm picking up some items. I backtracked a little bit. I didn't start out doing it correctly. You know, my goal is not to, you know, show you guys some proof of concept about like the absolute craziest amount of XP per hour you can get. My goal is to show you a build that will consistently give you a lot of XP per hour. Like here, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to take out this elite. Not because it's going to give me a ton of XP, but because I want to show you guys how quickly they die. So there you go, that guy lasted for a second, but, you know, not very much. Cast and forget. And if you want, you know, if you get kind of bored and you don't just want to keep doing this run over and over and over and you want to do something different, go ahead and pop into Corvariate and run through to Azmodan and kill Azmodan. You know, there are some elites there. The density it's not great, but it's okay. And, you know, you'll still get some decent XP, and Azmodan will give you on T1, I believe, somewhere around 3 million XP when you kill him. So it's not a total wash. You know, it's overall your XP per hour will be lower, but nobody necessarily wants to do runs like this non-stop forever. You know, I did this for a few hours and I got kind of bored with it. I needed to do something else, but, you know, there are those people that just put on some music, zone out, and just grind XP. And, you know, in just a little under a month, ROS is coming out and everything's going to be useless. So might as well get the XP now because that's the only thing you can do. Alright, so let's stop this right here. So this is the stopping point, guys. Well, let me just record this. So we're at... So let's see, went from 112 to 147. So let me do some math real quick, and I'll show you guys how many that is. So we're looking at 6.5 minutes And so 6.5 minute run. And we're getting a 35 million XP, which gives us 5.3 mil per minute, 5.38 mil per minute, which gives us 323 mil per hour. So, and depending on the speed, again, backtracking, efficiency, things like that, it may take you longer, it may take you less. I got this build at one point when I was really, trying to get max out XP per hour, and I was really focused. I got up to about 400. I think realistically, with this kind of setup, you're probably looking at about 350 when you average it all out. Now, if you have lower end gear, you can be looking at 250, maybe 300, maybe a little bit less, maybe like 250 for lower geared characters, because it will take you a little bit longer. But still, that's very significant. I mean, 250 mil XP per hour, that's something that no one was getting solo on, we'll call it the legacy server. I got the burps or something. So there you go, guys. That's 323. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna say 320 mil per hour, but that's being a little bit lazy. You can do this and top it out at 350, I think, easily. If you were super efficient and somebody discovered something that's even better than what I'm doing, 400 I think is doable. Again, it's going to depend on your damage output. If you're sitting at about 250k, I think you could probably get 250 mil per hour out of this, because it's not the ticks, because as you saw, the blizzard didn't go through the entire duration. It killed mobs in about half its duration. So if you had half the damage, one cast of this would still kill it. It would still kill all your mobs, and so you don't have to worry about casting anything twice or anything like that. The only thing that will add a little bit of time will be a little bit more time killing elites. But the Meteor and Sweet Storm will still kill in about 5 seconds flat, with significantly lower damage than this. So there you go, guys. This is the build that I've been working on. I've been testing on PTR, and this is the build that I'm going to stick to for a while. Just in case you guys are wondering, I will be putting up another video later on how this handles T5, T4, and T5. I still want to gear up a couple items before I venture into T5. I was able to take down Asmodan in T5, but it took a while, and I had to make some skill modifications that I didn't really like, which caused me to drop my damage significantly. So that was a downside, but it's still, this build is doable, and you're going to want your toughness to be at about 1.2 mil or so to handle T5 without dying all the time. But it's very doable, and that's going to be the next video. So thanks, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching this. Again, this is Meathead Mikkel from meatheadgaming.com. Make sure you check out YouTube videos, Twitch channel, check out the website, again, meatheadgaming.com, and let me know in the comments below what you guys think. I'm always trying to get better at these videos, these streams, and if there's anything you guys want to see, I am also testing the other classes right now. I'm testing the Barb, and I'm going to be crafting some monk items as well, and then I'll probably switch over to Witch Doctor and Demon Hunter. But for now, yeah, this is my baby. So thanks, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.